Hello all and welcome to another video in the Music Theory Intro course. It's Cody Wyman here again. In this video we talk about the all-important subject of, you guessed it, intervals. Now when I say intervals, a lot of people get confused, they don't know what it is, and it's simply enough. An interval is just the distance between one note and another note. The distance between one note and another note. That's it. One is usually higher than the other, and so on and so forth. So that's what we're talking about today. And there are several different types of intervals, from the unison, which is just one note in the same note. So if we were going to go down here, that would be our unison. So that is what's called a unison. It actually is the same note twice. And then we have another interval that is common, which is the second. And these are the closest intervals that are in the landscape of intervals. These are the closest intervals in Western music that are perfectly tempered, and they are the most common here. So the unison is the same note. The second is when you have one note, let's say G, followed by A. A is the next white note in the series of white notes on the piano. So it is a close neighbor to the G. So that would make it a second. And the reason why you hear me say second, third, fourth, fifth, as you will in these interval videos, is because we're talking about what are called scale degrees. When you get into a scale, like the G scale in this case that I just sounded and just played, that each note has numbers. Each note has an assigned number or solfege or something of that nature. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 octave, or 8. Those are the interval numbers that we judge the distance between two notes by as well. So when you hear me say second or third or fourth, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about where if you have this G scale in front of you, if I said what's a fourth up from G, you would count four notes. G, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you would get G and C. If those two notes were beside each other, it would be a fourth away from each other on the keyboard, on the white notes. So if you hear me say first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, or octave, or first again, that's talking about the intervallic relationship between two notes in the scale. So don't get confused. It's just because there's 8 tones in a scale, in regular major or minor scale, and each note has a number or solfege assigned to it that will give us a clue to how far one note is from the other. And in the case of unisons, you're just comparing one with one. It's one and the same. With seconds, you're comparing G and A. You're comparing this one to that one, G to A, first to second, and it is one note difference. There are types of seconds which we can get into really quickly. There's the major second, which is the one I just wrote, this one. And then there's the minor second, or flat. Now, this is the confusing part. You have your major second, which is da da, like that. But then you have da 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 da, minor second. It's darker. So it's closer to the G than the major second is. So you'll have two types of seconds. Major second is happy sounding and it's a little bit farther away. And also, the major second usually has a black note on the keyboard in between the interval. In between the G and the A, there's usually a black key. And that's the difference between minor and major seconds. Major seconds are brighter, minor seconds are darker, and their distance is a little bit closer together than the major second. If you guys need any more help with me explaining this, if you guys want me to go into further detail, please let me know in the Q&A. If you guys are fine, that's okay. In the next video, we will go over the third. And I will talk to you in the next video.